It's beach volleyball time. It's FIVB Heroes time. Welcome to the SWATCH World Tour here from the FIVB. Stadia Blanka, Poland is our destination. It's the Mazury Orlen and Slam. Well, the scene is set here for our match of the day from the men's final four here at Stadia Blanka. It's the gold medal match. It is the USA, the Olympic champions, in fine form again after a bit of a down period. Fresh off the win in Quebec last week, up against the host nation, Poland, who are playing in sunny skies now, the sun shining down on what should be a real spectacle here with a full house. 20 degrees temperature, as you can see. Pre-match entertainment is in full swing. We've already had Freddie Mercury again. He was serenading the United States pairing who were on court here today as they won last year and secured the tour title. They were the champions then. Who will be the champions here today? As you can see, decked out in red and white, the national colours of the host nation, hoping that these men, the heroes they cheered on 12 months ago, are downed by their own men from Poland. Todd Rogers, the professor himself, up against Poland alongside the thin beast, Fijalek-Prudel, who looked this morning something like he was back to his best. All ready for the presentations then. The biggest moment of Rogers-Dalhausser's career. They were in the final just a few weeks ago in Stavanger. It was a silver medal on that occasion. Here we go with Fijalek, one of the players of the tournament, perhaps the top player, the MVP of the week. Poland undefeated, yet to drop a set. But if they're to take the gold medal today, they'll have to do something they've never done, which is beat the Olympic champions. Remember, in each of their previous encounters, they haven't even taken a set off them. Well, for the top match, we have the top referee, Jonas Personeni of Switzerland, one of the most experienced on the circuit. He's assisted by our second referee today, who hails from Italy. It's a good afternoon to Bruno Frappacci. Party atmosphere already, especially now with the sunshine coming out. This is a packed house here, not a spare seat in this stadium. Thousands and thousands have made their way somehow out of the woods, as Todd Rogers famously once said. This time, I doubt they'll be cheering for him. They want a host win. They want the first ever win on any sort of international elite level event for their men. Fijalek and Prudel, the fourth seeds, up against the second seeds, Rogers and Dalhausser. All ready for the presentations then. These two have played in every type of atmosphere around. They'll be presented second on the court there because Rogers-Prudel is introduced to those watching as if they needed introductions. Alongside Fijalek, fast making a reputation as one of the top defenders in the game. Todd Rogers onto the court. That is Fijalek-Dalhausser. So there's a handshake. And it's all down to business now. All down to that fight for gold. They both want it, that's for certain. Rogers and Dalhausser, after seeing the bronze medal go to the current tour leaders, know they can make up some ground if they pick up gold. They've won on every occasion against this Polish team so far. Something about the Poles this week, though, is very, very different. Yet to drop a set. Let's see how they get on. Fijalek will serve first. Dalhausser siding out straight away, just to silence the crowd for a millisecond or two. And now that will last, given the noise we've experienced this week. Wonderful attended event. And for those that can't fit into this scheme, there are big screens out in the grounds of this Hotel Anders. The event is held. Fijalek will hit, and Dalhausser responds with a block. That looks pretty ominous for Poland. Nothing past him in the semi-final this morning. Olympic champs downing the world champs. Got Professor Rogers to serve. Big side out that for Poland. Gets the scoreboard ticking for them. Target is Dalhausser. Be up against Prudel now. He makes his block, but it's blocked out. Crowd cheer anyway. Dalhausser on serve. Venomous takes a touch off the net, just takes the pace off it. Prudel looks to attack, but it's another point for the States. Well, going back to those previous meetings I mentioned, they met in Stade last year, semi-finals then, straight sets in 42 minutes. This year, this is the third meeting. Both in third rounds. Moscow, Dalhausser and Rogers who won in the quarterfinals. Shanghai at the Open. Prudel and Fijalek sent into the contenders bracket. Rogers looks to attack this one, kills it dead. Well, he thought he'd done. Fijalek got down brilliant, but it's the unforced error in the end that gives the point away. Disappointment for Poland. I'm sure that will not dampen the crowd's enthusiasm though. They'll be proud of the man, whatever happens this week. They've shown good fight. Oh, just listen to that. Polska, ringing around this stadium. As you can see from that shot set beautifully just in front of the lake here in the very small village of Fijalek-Prudel, the Mazury region of Poland. 3 hours drive or so from Warsaw. Tottenham feel like playing here, the previous winners. Great defending by Rogers. Chance for him to get the kill. Just down there, Fijalek's there. Heroic defending. Difficult to hit home from there though. States will have a chance again. Dalhausser gets the roll, 6-1. Poland taking time out. I can hear just how hostile the crowd have come already and desperate for their players to do it. Every American touch booed, Polish touch cheered. So, 6-1. The crowd know their players need them. Both Fijalek and Prudel will be very proud man today to represent the country. Mentioned it in previous rounds for those of you who weren't tuned in. Of course, if you're familiar with the indoor game, this atmosphere very similar to that. You see the big sports halls where you see 20,000 people packed inside, cheering on that Polish team. Meantime, although we can't hear because of the noise, Todd Rogers is desperately trying to get a point across to his partner. They've saved some good form for the Grand Slam this year of the Poles. Beijing, they were fourth. Stavanger second, losing the final. Fourth in Stade, fifth in Moscow. Didn't quite make the final four. Making the final again is a huge achievement here. First time they've really been in trouble this week. Dalhausser to serve, and it is an absolute bullet down the right. Well, when he's in this sort of mood, there are very few teams or players that can live with him. Look at that. Prudel diving to his left would have taken an absolutely magnificent piece of reception to keep that alive. Those big blocks allied to these 3 or 4 point service runs really change games for the United States. Fijalek. Dalhausser makes it. Rogers will want to kill this one and does. Well, 8-1 and Poland have no timeouts to go to here. First element up here in the main tribune of frustration beginning to show. A couple of fans starting to have long faces. Not there in the layperson seats though, where all the noise is being made. They're enjoying themselves still, that's good. Fijalek trying to put a smile on their faces and does. Side out for only the second time. 8-2. They need to settle quickly here. Nice cut shot. Safe to say that Fijalek has been the more consistent player this week. Prudel had a spot of nerves in the semis this morning, but it didn't hinder them too much against Germany. Prudel down brilliantly. Nice poke. Fijalek was with the reception. Prudel poking home. Again, it was instinctive. Not the most orthodox of beach volley play, you'll see. Got to take your opportunities when they're spotted. Dalhausser set. Rogers on the line. Pinpoint accuracy from the professor. Tell all the calculation jokes you want in relation to his nickname, but that's where it comes from. Rogers to serve, cross court. Fijalek rising to hit hard. Rogers is there. But his touch with the ball out. Couldn't really take the sting out of that one. 9-4. Poland back to within 5, which is an improvement on the 6-point deficit they had. Kill on 2. Easy enough for Todd Rogers. It's funny that the first ever meeting between these two teams was actually Myslovica in Poland last year. Dalhausser and Rogers had been sent into the contenders bracket, funnily enough. 6th round of that part of the open draw. Allowed Dalhausser and Rogers to qualify for the semi-finals. Well played. Prudel seeing some space and taking advantage of it. But it's good, they've started to side out now. Through the gate. Take a picture of that one. Don't see many people squeezing it through the arms of Dalhausser. Good reception from Big Phil. Up looking for the kill. Fijalek says no. Second opportunity is almost thwarted. Fijalek diving in superhero style. Unable to make the contact that really would truly have made it heroic. There's the first. Prudel doing his best to try and put the Americans and catch them off guard. Prudel to bump high. Well, a valiant effort from Todd Rogers. A very valiant effort indeed. Crowd appreciated that as well. Took the touch off the head of Big Phil. Rogers doing his damnedest to get there. The national colours on show. Prudel it is. Rogers, Dalhausser, and that is a point and a half. Real hit down the line. So funny though. General observers of the Dalhausser-Rogers partnership know well, real lack of enthusiasm, or perceived enthusiasm, at least for the body language. I can tell they are happy inside though when they win a point. Won't be happy with that. Dalhausser points to himself in acceptance of the fact it was his error. Rogers rolls just about out. Margin's very, very fine. He's not arguing. I think he knew probably from the moment it left his hand. 2 or 3 centimeters over. And now Poland are within 4 points. Much more positive. Fijalek into Rogers. He now rises, hits hard. Fijalek was there to meet it. Off his chest though, bouncing out, and we get a technical timeout with 5 points separating the two teams. A lot of that United States juggernaut-style momentum though has had the brakes put on it by Poland. There's an awful lot to do though for these two men if they're to get anything out of this first set, that's for certain. Time for the dancers from the Canary Islands to entertain the crowd whilst the players take a brief breather. These two men will be desperate for a win here today. They have not won a Grand Slam event since their victory here where they secured the Tour title last season. This year's Stadio Blanca tournament was the last Grand Slam of the calendar this year. Bit of a reshuffle. Austria and Klagenfurt will be the closing Grand Slam of the season next week. 2 weeks by the lakes for these players. Rogers-Dalhausser enjoying it that bit more at the moment. But that's a nice side out to set the home fans crazy again. Prudel into Rogers. And it's the famous Rogers cut shot. They really do suck the life out of the teams they play against. A negative body language, almost not interested body language, helps to do that, you feel. It's ultimately their play. As Prudel fires the ball past Rogers from an almost impossible angle there. Brilliantly done. The defence was set up nicely. Many times your back big Phil to get there. 10-14. Last minute decision to play at that from Dalhausser, who hits down. Prudel though, puts up the wall, or does he? No. It is called out. Look very, very close from up here. Let's take a look down the line ourselves. Prudel gets the contact well. Not sure why Prudel was going for it. Again, it looked close from up here, but we're a long way up in the stand. Second referee made the right decision down there. Fijalek to hit. Off the body of the thin beast. 2 out of 2 from him. Needs to make it a hat-trick here. He doesn't. Poland squeeze it through. Again, they continue to side out. Good news for those fans. Keep siding out, waiting for the American mistake here. Lovely hit on the angle from Fijalek. Only 22 years of age. Rogers up to Dalhausser, who misses. There is the mistake. Means that Poland can come to it in 3. The gift of a side out. Now need to do something off serve. Americans won't be overly concerned yet. 1 or 2 more points though will change their minds quite quickly. Dalhausser. Nicely done. There you go, top spin on the ball. Just ensure that it lies down a little quicker, the ball. 16-12. The early part of the set that did all the damage for the United States. Right on the line. And just as Poland think they might be creeping back, then that happens. Perfect ball toss. How many of those can he serve? Hit it up against Fijalek here, who puts it wide quite nicely. Really shown his talent this week. It's been an exhibition of defensive play from him. Took that ball down lovely. Look at that for a kill. Rogers, Dalhausser on the angle, takes them down to 18-13. This Polish team looking for their first gold medals at Bering. Yeah, last week in Quebec, as we see the fans, they start them young around here. They need that protection. It is very loud in here. Phil Dalhausser. Todd Rogers picking gold medal number 20 on the international tour up in Quebec last week. And became the first ever American winners on Canadian soil. A tournament that had been previously dominated by South Americans. That block from Dalhausser, taking them to within 2 of a 1-set advantage. Rogers floats it over. Target is Fijalek. They've got him nice in the corner up against Phil. Somehow that got past him. Advantage still fine. Let's see what happened here. Well, down the left. Rogers pointing to himself saying he should have got there. Prudel service nicely controlled. Dalhausser stinging the line. That'll bring set point up. So set one going away from them quite quick here, but Fijalek and Prudel have played themselves into it at least. They'll have a little more confidence going into set two. Dalhausser, in the meantime, will look to finish it off on serve with another ace. To do that, he needs to get the ball over the net. Side change. Americans are now trying to side out for that number one in the sets column. Remember, Dalhausser and Rogers have already lost twice this week. Beaten by Bockerman and Batsk of Germany, and Benes and Kuban of the Czech Republic. Squeezing through on pool play. Latvia doing it. As Dalhausser hits down, they now take the first set in the final. Once more, they have timed their form to come to the boil in the gold medal match. Phil Dalhausser, again, looking like the player that we know he is. 21-15 the score. First set to the USA. Olympic champions have the advantage against the hosts. Thirsty work out there too. But a job very, very well done. So how do you get themselves back in this game? Heat pack being applied to try and cure that injury to Prudel. Poland trying to become the first men's team from a country other than Brazil or the United States to win a title since July the 25th, 2010. That was when the Chinese won in Marseille. To do that, they'll have to overcome the Olympic champions. Fijalek misses. It's set up quite nicely. United States, though, had the feeling they had them where they wanted them all along. Phil blocking off the line. Todd covering the backcourt. They have the side out. Fijalek to hit this time, hitting his mark, and Poland are off and running. That'll be very, very positive considering what happened in the first set with the States racing ahead. Getting through the arms of Dalhausser, not the first time that's happened today. Rogers will look to run onto the set. He'll do more than that, he will hammer it cross court. 2-1. First time they ever played here last year. 2010, Rogers and Dalhausser taking the gold medal. Dalhausser to hit. Really hard to take the sting out of that one. Prudel managed it though, and he's managed to convert it into a point. Absolutely wonderful stuff, because I can tell you there was absolutely nothing wrong with that serve. Swinging the baseball back right around to take the sting out of it. Well done, Prudel. And well done on two counts, because that serve has put Todd Rogers into trouble. 3-2. Solid start now from the Poles. He's going in. Rogers had to play, as you can see. It's up Marius. As Marius Prudel goes to block, up against Rogers. His roll, bang on the line. United States siding out. Just adding an element of calm to their play. 3-3. Sun shining down on court now. Look long to me. Well, the Poles are claiming a touch. Jonas Pesineni says, well, if there was, I didn't see it. Now, was that? So difficult to see from that. Americans will get the point. They maintain their innocence. Well, it's not touching the ball's concern. Todd Rogers to serve at 4-3 up the United States. A set-up as well. And looking for Grand Slam win number 1 of 2011. Oh, nicely down. Beautifully played by Fijalek. To remind you, the teams that this Polish side has beaten. Unbeaten all week. Remember, that set was the first one they'd lost since the start of the tournament. Austria, Latvia, Germany on 2 counts. 2 Swiss teams as well. All dismissed in less than 40 minutes. Setting though is pulled up. Carrying, given against Fijalek-Dalhausser. Not unusual to see. You usually see Big Phil pulled up for it, holding onto the ball a little long. Once or twice in a match. Today no exception. Good lead, very, very good lead. Rogers moving himself out of the way. Fijalek's been serving well. Then again, Fijalek-Dalhausser has been serving not with his best. Let's see if he's going to pull that out again. Prudel will hit. Oh, lots of distance to make here. And in the end, the advertising hoardings of our title sponsor getting in the way. Strong hit from Prudel. Really come to the fore in the second set. Still into the semi-final. Took him a set or so to get going. Dalhausser, Rogers is well read. Chance here for Fijalek to hit home. His swing at the ball is a positive one. Poland have a lead for the first time in this match now. 7-5. The crowd are even more pumped up than you thought they could be. Listen to that noise. Rogers responds though. Again, calming effect on just about everything in the surrounds. Certainly those thousands of human voices chanting Polska, Polska. This cut shot. To make a point up here though, the States. They've got Fijalek in the corner, which is where they want it. That's a nice roll shot if you ever saw one. Very, very classy indeed. Eight-6 at the side change. Fijalek just taking his time, thinking about things that extra little bit as he walks over to his mark. He'll serve from left to right now. Dalhausser just about controls it. Looks to finish off, and that's on, well, looks on the line to me. I can tell you the line judge below calls out. It is right on the line. Well played. Dalhausser will serve. Up there in the block. Well, that nearly was that point brought back. But what a way to respond. Brilliantly done by Prudel. Magnificently done. Left-handed as well. Fijalek finishing off. Prudel serves to Rogers. Looks for that push down the line and gets it. Yeah, just that quiet and effect. Well, these two had a very disappointing 25th at home at Fijalek-Prudel last year. Certainly more than made up for it with this performance. A minute they're ahead in the second set. Prudel blocked out. 2-point lead restored. Which is what's happening every time Poland managed to side out here. Remember, they're in the form of their lives at the moment. All started after a disappointing 25th in Prague, 4th in Beijing at the Grand Slam, 5th at the Worlds, 2nd in Stavanger, 4th in Stad, 5th in Moscow. Here, guaranteed at least 2nd. Rogers set up with the handset. Fijalek's down to defend. Chance now for the Poles. Great hit. And now that is a 3-point lead. Awesome stuff. Well, Gregor Fijalek, take a bow. Defending, turned into attack. Venomous hit. Dalhausser can't deal with it. Excitement that follows, quite predictable. Crazy about their volleyball in these pots. Not so crazy about that serve, though. Good passage of play. They can side out here in the last point before the technical timeout. It'll give them a nice 3-point advantage to sit down on. Dalhausser looking for something different. Loud, long, and out. 12-9 then. Finally something to think about for the Olympic champions. Plenty to cheer about for the Polish fans. Okay then, Todd and Phil, what have you got? You had to labor to a few 3-set victories this week. Look to have fallen into that nasty out-of-form trap again after winning in Quebec last week at the start here. There's 2 opening losses, very worrying for them. Poland still unbeaten. The States have a set lead here. Rogers making that the start to post-technical timeout set 2 very well for the United States. Is that a smile I detected as well? Very rare. Fijalek and Prudel will be enjoying this though now. They're in the game. Good float serve. Really made Prudel think about it. Phil though seems to have just lost his blocking mojo for the moment. Poland have the beating of him for the time being. Do get the feeling though, and you'd be very surprised if it lasted all match. Fijalek floats. Very nearly in, it's a good effort. baffled his attempt there, or idea. Dalhausser, booze ringing around, produces a good serve that Prudel reacts well to. Oh, the block's beaten again. Had to try and adjust his position because Prudel did so as well. Bump set up, and there's the hit. Cutting right across the ball. Oh, good defending. Very nearly made a very important touch. They got to the ball well. There goes Fijalek. He is scooping plenty up off the floor today. That's his job as a defender. He's made a couple of blocks to boot. He bumps up this time. Fijalek is to finish. Rogers is down there. Dalhausser. Chance for the States here. After defending, it's Prudel first though. Dalhausser with plenty of space to make up. Hanging on into this point by a thread. In the end though, the third time of asking, Poland hammer it home. 15-12. So 15-12 means that a three-point lead still intact. Every passing point inside out, the Polish fans know they're closer to getting a third set and a decider. Rogers has to hit this. Prudel's there. Still going. Wonderful touch again. They still keep it in play. Makes the pass just to buy them some time. Dalhausser. This time it's Fijalek. Wonderful play across court. Poland playing to perfection at the moment. Oh, no wonder they're all on their feet. Absolutely breathtaking play here in Stadion-Blanke. States had every right to feel they've won that point a couple of times. There's one, Prudel down to his left. Wonderful piece of defending. There's the pass to buy them some time. Well read diving dig. Here comes the spike. Nobody's hitting that back. Grzegorz Fijalek, one of the revelations of the season. 16-12 now. Poland in control of set 2 against the Olympic champs. Rogers hits wide. 17-12. Unless a miracle happens here, we're going to 3. Timeout for the United States. Last opportunity for them. Try and hold the Polish momentum now. In a real pendulum. And the swings have been rather big. Firstly, firmly in those guys' favour. Second set at the start. Poland came out of the blocks very, very quick. Hey, men, whilst these guys have a chat, the announcer is doing his best to drum up even more support. And that's the result of it. Orlen. Grzegorz Fijalek. How's it to Rogers? Oh, it's a poor set again. Double touch this time. Timeout doing nothing to help the United States. Here's the evidence. Well, you can see the right arm rise. The left arm stays where it is. Clear double touch, well spotted by Jonas Petronelli. hands rising in unison. Good clear contact. Hand setting under pressure again by the referee. I should say by the increasingly stringent rules. Rogers getting away with that one. Hitting down, just about forcing it through. That one deemed hit at him hard enough. Good reaction by the professor. At 18-14 here. States need one of those big Fijalek-Prudel runs. Not going to get it there. 2 more points for Poland. Rogers-Prudel to take up serve. Oh, solid hit, well defended. Fijalek's going to have a chance well behind. Strikes the line with precision. That's an absolute arrow of a hit down. And he's hit the bullseye. Polska on their feet as a nation. Set point here against the Olympic champions. Just about squeezes over, very nearly did for Rogers. He tries to hammer home and silences the crowd for a few short seconds. Still set point, 5 of them in fact for Poland here. All they need to do is side out. Rogers and Dalhausser on the back foot. Fijalek takes down, his chance to swing. Dalhausser did well to get the block in. Prudel pushes it though. It's the poke into space that brings up the set. One apiece, and we'll have a decider here in Stadia Blanca to decide whether it's the hosts or the Olympic champions who take home the gold. 1-1, identical mirror image scores, 21-15, 15-21. Prudel and Fijalek more than in the game now. They have a wonderful chance of picking up their first ever win. So the pre-set toss is taking place. Answers return for the moment. And in the meantime, we'll have a look at the best moments from set 2. The men with all the medals on the right, former world, current Olympic champions. Team that has yet to win a gold of any sort, representing the host nation and in the form of their lives. Something has to give here. It's a race to 15 to see who will hang gold around their necks. Very high hand set. Rogers set up, but it also gave all the time in the world for Prudel to set himself. What a start to set 3. The crowd needed any excuse. Here they go. Punch of the air despite that injured left hand. Facial expressions have turned quite quickly from nervous, worried ones to very enthusiastic smiles on the faces of Fijalek and Prudel. They have blown away the opposition this week. This, of course, by far and away the hardest match. Rogers to Prudel. He will now rise above Fijalek-Dalhausser. Well, it's knocked the glasses off of Tom Rogers, that one. Dalhausser hasn't got close for a while. This time it's a defensive partner who takes a beating on the head. A hammer of a spike. 2-1 Poland. 25-year-old Prudel floats the ball down the line. Not the greatest of passes, it's a gift. Not taken advantage of though. Poland will get another chance. Prudel from well behind. Here's Dalhausser. Prudel still goes. Well, well, well. Shows it how much it means to these two teams. Blow by blow by blow. It's like a heavyweight boxing bout, this one. On that point, it were Poland who were rocking all the way. In the end, just about knocked off their feet. Then out of sand. Dalhausser and Rogers. Almost forcing Prudel to play. Threw himself backwards to avoid that one. Couldn't really find his serves in set two at all, Dalhausser. There goes Fijalek. And I've stated throughout the final four today, has been very consistent throughout this week. There's the setting for Rogers. Rolls in. Fijalek's chance though. This for the lead for Poland. And they have that 2-point cushion. Well, any questions about momentum firmly answered. It is staying with the host nation for now at least. Not taking them long at all to have that 2-point lead. 4-2. Fijalek to the line. Win an almighty party if Poland pull it out of the bag here. And working together, they almost pulled another miracle there. Fijalek somehow getting down, it flew off towards his partner. In the end, ending up in the advertising hoarding zone. Rogers wants to get on with things quickly. Between two of them, Prudel choosing to take it on. Dalhausser gets a little closer, but it's his block. Sees the ball fly off to the back of the court. Poland have the point and reassert their lead. Dalhausser looks for the kill on two. Knocks Prudel over in the process. Look at that for force. We're throwing everything into this, the Poles. You'd have to have serious questions of their motivation and desire if they weren't doing on a day like today. It's a beautiful script that's been written. Will they remember their lines, though? Prudel recites the next one, and it sounds like poetry and pretty sweet stuff at that. 6-4, what a wonderful hit. He's so close to the net, had to be very careful not to take a touch on the way down. Swinging right through the ball, but then those ladies to delirium. Disappointing serve. Up for Fijalek again. Rogers is there, wants it again now. Didn't get it back. It's a pass that went over the net from Dalhausser. Set wide, Dalhausser's there. Finally makes a block. The United States are level. That's the point that they needed. Now then. Time for Poland to dig in again. They've been riding the 2-point lead for a few side-up periods now. Polish crowd on their feet, not even halfway through this third set. There's the high bump. Rogers with some wonderful defending. Chance for him to hit as Prudel peels off right on the line. United States with a couple on the spin. Oh, the nerves will really start to jangle now in the crowd. So unlucky from Prudel. Very difficult to judge. High bump up as Dalhausser hovers. And all that pressure that was placed on the United States has just had the valve released. And it's all gone a bit flat now for Poland. So quickly can things change here. Announcer needs to do his job with the stadium again. Needs to get that noise level risen. These two boys have done their best to bring down the decibels. But again, I'll repeat now before we get into the hefty stuff of the race to 15, the second half of it, the business end of it, the event that is going to be decided in the next 10 minutes or so. Really is worth giving a heck of a lot of credit here to the way that Prudel and Fijalek have played up to this crowd. Look at that side. There are very, very few events where you'll see that. These girls have been in and around the world dancing, Olympic Games in Beijing, but they've seen few sights like this. Polish national colours on display for all the world to see. They'll be hoping there'll be a gold medal at the end of it. Time out after that American advance. 8-6 now with Rogers to the line. Oh, Rogers reads it brilliantly. Over on two by Dalhausser. Chance for Fijalek to hit up to Prudel. Wonderful defending again. Fijalek will have his chance to swing. And that is a pure demonstration of the merits of digging in the point, because you'll eventually get your own opportunity. And when it comes, my oh my, this is how to take it. It speaks for itself. So that's the side out achieved. Need a point on serve. Marius Prudel aims it towards Todd Rogers, killed on to quite brilliantly. So the States will be happy to do this. Keep siding out all the way. They have that magic 2-point advantage. Should they be happy to get a 15-13 from here and pick up the gold medal for the first time in the Grand Slam in 2011. Fijalek, the man on your screen, doing all in his powers to prevent that from happening. Swinging at this ball, but only against the might of the wall that is Phil Dalhausser. Said it early on, just when you least expect it, just when they might look they need something, Dalhausser pulls out one of those blocks and occasionally follows it up with a special serve or two. Poland have to be wary here. Rogers reads. States with a chance to take the advantage to 4. Denied. Fijalek's there. And again, it's the big man who does the big work. Well, normally you might hear a cheer when that sort of things happen, because we may be in a neutral venue, and I'm sure if it wasn't Poland playing on the other side, then this crowd would be going wild for a block like that. 11-7. Pass it to Rogers, who cuts. Prudel's there in the block. Brilliant pass. Well, sitting side on in the stand, it looked pretty good. If you were behind the net, I'm sure you'd have seen. And it was drifting out. So the advantage has been cut. State's still in front though. Poles given a bit of renewed hope. The crowd will try to help them every bit they can. Here comes Fijalek. Dalhausser. Rogers to hit hard. Hitting hard enough. On the angle. Getting it past Mazury. Fijalek couldn't respond either. 3 ahead, 3 from victory. Balanced quite nicely if you're an American fan at home. Fijalek looking to attack this up against Dalhausser. It's his touch on the way through, which means that Polish side out. That's the difference to 2. Good to see this competitive right to the death. Very good for international beach volleyball, the development of this Polish team. And all for the fact there have been 4 different nationalities here. Prudel making the block, and that could be very, very important as far as the destination of the medals are concerned. They need another one, but what a way to start. Hanging high, blocking hard. Prudel in the way. Poland back to within 1. Dalhausser will try again. Oh, this time hits it way too hard. Prudel will have to fly across the court, quite literally, to get that. No feet that could pedal fast enough. 13-11. Americans just about still have it. 2 more points for them. Poland, no, they're still close as well. Needs a controlling bump. Got that. It also got the spike to finish. So important they sided out there to prevent the match point from coming up. Here, though, is where the real test comes. Poland have serve, and they need to hold it to prevent a match point chance coming up for the United States. No error allowed now at this point of the game. 1 set all, just 1 point severing the teams here in the 3rd set at the death. Nicely played. Very, very nicely played by Todd Rogers. Again, hardly any celebration from him. Certainly mirrors the crowd, in fact, that they're all cheering for Poland. They respectfully rise to their feet, though, for match point. Rogers and Dalhausser serving for the win. The very place where they won their last Grand Slam. Rogers has it. Dalhausser. Prudel keeps it alive, though. Chance here for the professor to kill things off, but no! Not at all. Not on Mazury Prudel's watch. It was a Phil Dalhausser-style block there. Just when you think it's going the other way, just out of nowhere, rises Mazury Orlen to deny the professor. Still match point here, though. Not a chance at it. Dalhausser will hit. There it is. It is delight for the team who secured the Tour Championship here 12 months ago. It has been so long since they've taken a Grand Slam. They've had to wait for their return to Poland for it. It's title number 4 in total of the season. Their first Grand Slam, and the closest this Polish team has got so far to gold. They're getting there, they're creeping up there. I have little doubt we'll see them on top of a podium very soon. Just a big ask today, though. Polish fans disappointed in the result, delighted with the effort of their men, and they will show yet more support as they walk off. We see you again on the podium. Phil and Todd, though, have taken it. 3 sets, 2 sets to 1, 21-15. The first 2 sets mirror image scores. We said it'd be tight all the way. It was by the thinnest of thin margins possible in beach volleyball, 15-13, with the USA, the Olympic champions, taking gold in Stadio Blanca. Polish colours proudly displayed. I can assure you that every single man, women and child will be staying in their seats and applauding the effort of both Mazury-Prudel and Gregor Fijalek. They'll be pleased with themselves. A wonderful, wonderful effort. They'll know where it went wrong. Though they haven't dropped a set until this final match, and had their chances too in a final that I'm sure they will never forget. More and better still yet to come from them. And of course, more and better still to come, despite the veteran status and having won everything by Todd and Phil.
Game.
Time to go down and listen to the champs.
The whole team.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure the crowd would have loved to have seen a home team win. I have no doubt about that, but I'm glad that they got to the finals here in Poland. You know, the crowd excitement was amazing. They were crazy, and obviously so. Their team was playing here, and heck, they played great. You know, Marius has a bad thumb, and so he went out there and balled. So it was a good match, and I'm fortunate to get out of here with a win.
Oh, yeah, I mean, those guys played great, especially in front of their home crowd. They really showed up today, but we just squeaked it out.
Thank you. Just squeaked it out is a very good description of how that win was performed and pulled off by both Todd and Phil. A win that has given them title number 4 of this 2011 season. Remember, they broke the record for titles last year. That's not going to happen this year, you get the feeling. Emmanuel and Allison in top form on the other hand, but it's the gold medal match. Poland, USA, with the US taking gold here. Thank you for joining us here in Stadio Blanka this week. Remember, we move to Austria for the final Grand Slam of the season. That starts tomorrow. Join us next weekend for more, though, from the SWATCH World Tour. I've been Rob Hatch. For me and everyone here, all the team in Poland. We'll see you next week.